always fascinated by how railways and canals and roads came to evolve, their routes and their lines, and how they are the shape they are today. There's one such abandoned railway that's been bugging us for some time. It heads from Oxford, travels west for 22 miles with great purpose, but then it just stops. My name is Paul, and welcome to the story of the line that just stopped, and also how we visited 500 abandoned stations in the UK. And my journey today, I'm actually heading from the end of that line. I'm on the western end and I'm looking for Fairford Station. It's around here somewhere. I've left the town a few hundred yards that way, and I'm going to head all the way across to the east towards Oxford. I think I found it. The giveaway is a couple of old railway posts there, bit of a broad gauge track. There's even a little sign down the end. I think it's all of that. Just check out this sign and have a look. No, I don't know why I thought the sign would be for this whole area here, but right in front of me there is the old Fairford Station. Have a look at this. So, on today's journey, as ever, I've tried to print out all the old pictures of the stations to bring them with me, see if I can compare what was and what is today. And here we are, Fairford. I think this is looking this way towards the end of the line, so we're looking for a platform on the left. Now, GWR opened the batting in this area with an 1850 north-south route, Oxford to Banbury line. Next up, a junction from this was built in 1853, the Oxford, Worcester and Wolverhampton Railway. So the year is 1853, and there's a meeting in Witney purely concerned with getting the townfolk of Witney connected to a railway. It's a thriving woolen industry there, and the townfolk are getting concerned about the local competition. Everybody's getting a railway, and for Witney and the townsfolk it was quite important that they got themselves on the map. Now this whole area now seems to have turned into a BMX/bikers paradise, which is quite cool. This whole stretch is pretty much exactly where that picture was, but from the other end, facing that way. Okay, disappointingly we've come to, looks like the end of this little area of woodland, and there's nothing to see. It's a bit disappointing. I thought this stretch might hold some secrets. There's a few old posts down here, nothing of value railway wise. We shall move on to the east. So 5.5, 6 years ago, Rebecca and I were sat watching YouTube, watching some creators that we enjoy, and a little thought popped into my head. I wonder if I could do that. Bought a little camera that we're still using today, the one you're looking through now, a Canon 80D. I put a video together. We made what we call a comic video on a disused railway, tried to make a light-hearted history of it. No agenda, no thought in mind other than to just enjoy ourselves, and we did. And we loved it, but there was one problem with making a comic series of videos. I'm really not funny. Right, third station along the line, not a lot to see back at the railway close or whatever that was called back at Lechdale, but this is Kemscott and Langford. Langford's a very beautiful village just to the north. No idea where Kemscott is, but I guess it's served both because, well, have a look around, there's not a house or dwelling in sight. Apparently the station just down here was indeed a halt, and I think it was manned, but 1923 as an example. I think they're sold on average just 10 tickets per day, which I guess isn't bad considering we're in the middle of nowhere. Right, there's a lot of railway fencing across the back. Not really sure on what I'm looking for. It was a halt. There's no pictures of here. I don't know if it was a wooden affair or, although it was manned, so maybe we are looking for a little bit more infrastructure. So 1859, a contractor was appointed. Sir Charles Fox, £50,000 in shares was raised, and yeah, 1861 the line was opened. It was a very easy line to construct. Looking at the distance, you can see why. There's no obstacles here, there's no hills, there's no need for tunnels. It's a very flat landscape, so you can imagine within 2 years this line was open. Now the Board of Trade came and they said, yeah, absolutely fine. The only thing we noticed, there's no turntable at Witney, so you're going to have to use tank engines. I'm not really sure what I'm looking for. You can see the alignment was there. I suspect the platform was this side. There's a lot of ballast strewn about here. An old concrete post. I wonder if that's got anything to do with the line. Suspect so. Now I'm going to continue and take advantage of the bridleway, which now heads east along this line. So if we can see any more infrastructure, I doubt there's a lot of it, apart from this gorgeous overbridge, and it's yeah, that's very nice. A lot of masonry, a lot of water. So after making that first comedy film, we then made a few additions, a few accompaniments to that film. We did a remote disused, so we found one of the most remote disused stations. I think it's Foss Cross up near Cirencester. I think we did another one, Churn Holt, on the Didcot Newbury and Southampton Railway, and we did a series called Remote Disused, and that took us to Scotland, where we went to Riccarton Junction, Sawtry, places like that. And we started making small vlogs, I guess, for want of a better word, and we really enjoyed that. We really enjoyed the process, and we really enjoyed looking and seeing these places that we'd never even considered seeing before. And we kind of got addicted, and then all of a sudden another idea popped into our head. The idea that we should visit every disused station. So we started doing a bit of research, and we made our first video on the Somerset and Dorset Railway, and that came with quite a problem. Right, been to Alfscott, took a couple of pictures in an industrial estate, so we couldn't really get out and film. Carterton, missed it, in the middle of the airfield, and now back to another industrial estate for Bryce Norton and Bampton Station, which is just up there. Got a little bit more walking we can do, and the rest of the story up ahead. For the meantime, let's listen to the sound of aircraft. Wow. Yep, you can see that. Wasn't expecting that. Something else I wasn't expecting as well. It's an old railway crossing sign. It's not old railway crossing, it's a new crossing sign. Am I missing something? Bampton and Bryce Norton. Thankfully I didn't manage to get myself mowed down on this busy road, but that's a 3 stations ticked off quicker than I'd hoped, and a lot less to see than I'd hoped as well. Onwards. Okay, so it's 1861 and we're in Sainsbury's car park. Those two aren't related, but we are in Witney. Now, 1861, we have our line complete to Witney. So why then, within about 10 years, has Witney got a second station and the 14-mile extension to this branch line that we've already just explored? So let's look at the south side of this map, in particular a branch that went up to Farringdon, just a few miles long. A company called the East Gloucestershire Railway was formed and intended to use this branch to connect up to Cheltenham. The line was going to be run by Midland Railway. GWR opposed this, and this really frustrated the East Gloucestershire Railway because bill after bill was appealed by GWR. Eventually, the East Gloucestershire Railway settled with a line from Witney to Fairford. So 1873, the line, the branch, is extended to what the part is that we've already explored today, down to Fairford. And what that meant, of course, to make that new alignment south of Witney, well, Witney needed another station. Now I'm stood, if you can see that line there of vegetation, well, that's the old railway in here into Witney. And look at this, one of the rare pieces of infrastructure on this line. big old steel bridge, and just the other side of those new houses or flats, well, that's where the original 1861 line would have gone into Witney. And of course the new alignment, I can see that just down the river there, about 100 yards or less away from me, that new alignment with the new station on, well, that took away the use for passengers, and of course that remained as a goods line or goods stop only. So we just take a step back from the old line, which goes right behind me in the distance, and we'll see if we can find a little overbridge and then the new alignment and the new station for Witney. Right, and there we are. That's the bridge I was looking for. Carried both lines over this river before they split just back there and went into Witney on either direction. And I guess in 5 years we've done 500 stations. Now if you can do some math, I guess that's going to mean that it's going to take us another half a lifetime to get this done. So as you probably worked out, we're not stopping, but what we are going to do is just tell you stories and episodes of Every Disused Station, well, that have a story to tell, because one of the things that's been bothering me lately is just doing a line for the sake of it, pointing at housing estate, pointing at a field where there's nothing. So we're only doing the Every Disused Stations now where there is a good story to tell, and hopefully this one is one of those. Right, now on the new alignment. The line was in both parts ultimately absorbed and sold to GWR in 1890. It lasted a fair while until the axe of beaching was wielded, 1862, and the line was closed and only ran goods to Witney until 1970. There it is, look at that! That's exactly what I've been trying to find, is the route over that river that I saw from the other bridge. So I've got the old line here going into Witney, into that industrial estate. Can't get to it because the industrial estate's fenced off. I've got the new line there, which went the south side of Witney, and I can't get through there. So I can't show you the exact locations, or I could, but I'd have to take a mile walk around and show you an industrial estate. Exactly the point I was just making of what we don't want to do. So let's just head back in this hedge here and stand on the bridge. And thank you for watching. We're going to have to stop our journey here and not do the remainder, the last few stops. We'll do those another day, largely because the A34 is closed and the traffic around it is a bit mental. So we're going to stop today's journey in Witney. Thank you for watching. If you'd like regular behind the scenes video, because we do one a week, you can sign up to our Patreon or members by hitting the links in the pinned comment or the description just below. But from the banks of a river, I'm not sure what they are, stood on an old railway bridge built in 1861. Thanks for watching.